Hello and welcome to Bums on Seats short interviews in celebration of International Women's Day and Females in Hospitality. And speaking of females in hospitality, we have the fantastic Jen Jackson with us today. Jen is the sales manager for BrewDog Retail. Hello, Jen. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
It's fantastic to have you here. And now, of course, everyone knows the name BrewDog, but could you just describe your job a little bit more to those of us that might not know exactly what's involved, basically?
Oh, well, good question for a start off. My job is a bit of a dog's body of events, sales, marketing, and reservations. So my main role is to manage the sales team and the reservation system that we have globally, and also champion any digital channels that we have for sales avenues. So from anything to do with the retail side of the bars business, with the website, tracking, all this kind of idea normally comes into my remit, which is excellent.
Wow, fantastic. So busy then as well.
Likely so.
Yes, fantastic. And it's probably worth us mentioning, we are recording this on the day of the budget. So some great news there for everybody. Fingers crossed.
Delighted.
Exactly. But of course, we're here to talk about International Women's Day, females in hospitality. So what I'd like to really know from you, Jen, is do you have a female inspiration in or out of business that's kind of, helped you along the way, essentially, kind of, kept you going?
Yeah, definitely. I was very lucky to meet somebody I can only describe as a mentor. A couple of years ago that really was able to guide me not only in marketing and all the different aspects and avenues and creative outlets that you have, but also how to kind of speak for myself and give myself value. And that was truly an excellent thing. So her name was Sydney. I'll drop that in there. And she was just absolutely brilliant for just really not only guiding me in terms of my career, but also just my sense of self. And we've got a firm friendship that exists, now and hopefully forever.
That's lovely. And it's really interesting you say about the sense of self, because I think one of the overriding themes, speaking to a lot of women today, has been that sometimes we need help finding that sense of self and being able to speak for ourselves. I mean, do you feel that once you had that was something that really helped you to succeed?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things that we can do, especially as women, is actually give ourselves our own value and don't let others place it on us, but actually understand what you're worth and what you have to say does have value. You might say the wrong thing occasionally, but it is still worth it actually saying. It's definitely worth saying it rather than keeping quiet.
That's such good advice. Do you have a memory in particular of a pivotal moment in your career, or even within yourself, because they're very closely intertwined, where you had that light bulb moment of suddenly going, I can do this, I can make this happen?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was actually, I'd only just started with BrewDog. I'd started as a bartender, and I've been taking what they call the Certified Cicerone course, which is all about learning beer. And just found that taking on that information was really interesting, and people kept on talking about how to get the word out. And digital was like the big thing at the time. That was everybody was going digitally. And I remember just reading through a couple of examples, a couple of job role titles as well, and thinking, I'm sure I could do this. I'm sure I could do this. So a short course later, and just putting the word into the right ears, I got given a good couple of chances and took them and ran with them, and luckily came to where I am now.
That's brilliant, and so brilliant that you were in a space where you were encouraged and you felt like that was a viable route to go down, that you could kind of do that as well.
Definitely.
And then we're talking about so you had your wonderful mentor Sydney, who kind of boosted you up and gave you that push. Do you think, from what you've seen, that there are more women championing women in business over the last couple of years, or do you think it's always been there and maybe we just haven't noticed it?
I think in some ways it definitely has always been there, and I think if you're lucky enough to have found women that have actually been able to champion other women, then that's been a true gift and has really helped other women come along. But I think nowadays it's actually being talked about more in a public forum space. You know, it's such a thing on social media and everything, and it's really utilised social media in the best way that it can be used, by actually championing women's voices to encourage one another. And they are brilliant for just the sheer encouragement and ideas and understanding how many different opportunities that we have as women, just really making sure that we go out and get them.
Yeah, and that's so important, isn't it? Kind of understanding the opportunities that actually are out there, and we're able to.
I think that's the first step. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so this is actually a really interesting question that I have for you, because, you know, speaking to someone who really has gone on this journey, this sort of, you know, starting off as a bartender and then being where you are now, I think must give you a very unique outlook into, you know, into your own career and into the industry as a whole. What advice would you give to somebody starting out, and maybe I'm specifically kind of thinking in that position of being a bartender or being front of house, maybe thinking I've got no idea how to get there? What kind of advice would you be giving them?
I think the best piece of advice I could give is, if you see an opportunity, take it. If it's an opportunity to learn, to develop, to talk, to meet somebody even that's doing something that you're interested in, then I would definitely say the best thing you can do for yourself is take it and apply yourself 100%. The most amazing thing about hospitality is a lot of people used to think it was a black and white, you're either a bartender or a manager, and that was about it. But it covers so many different aspects, so many role titles, from, you know, creative design down to sales team, down to logistics, beer quality. Like, if you've got a passion and an interest, is a very good chance that hospitality can cater for it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And do you think that there's more opportunities to make that crossover now? I mean, I'm just talking in general rather than, you know, maybe just about specifically women, but for everybody.
Yes, I would definitely say, I think a lot of companies, and also speaking from inside my own company, are realising that championing the staff that you currently have and growing, developing them from within the company brings along a real pride in the brand as well from internal, which can only be seen then external. So it gets customers and everything involved as well. Not only that, but it makes your staff just keen to constantly try and improve themselves to the best that they can be. And having managers and leaders inside the team that are ready to just help them on the next steps and pull them forward is just the best thing you can do.
Fantastic. So keep learning, keep taking the opportunities, and believe in yourself is basically...
It's the most motivational thing you can hear, isn't it?
Fantastic. Well, Jen Jackson, thank you so much for joining us on International Women's Day. I hope you have a fantastic day, however you're celebrating, and hopefully we can chat again soon.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.